Welcome back to the No Excuse Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Wellness Coach Jay. And today we're here with nurse, nature lover, and founder of Black Iowa Outdoors. How's it going, girlfriend?
Good. Good to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. You had this moment in West Virginia, no snacks, no bug spray, no poles, and still something clicked, a spark. Yes. The first hike changed everything. Can you walk us through that moment in Charleston? What were you expecting and what actually happened on that hike?
Amazing time. I went into it not really having much expectations. I just thought, like, I'm going to do this hike and it's going to be all good. Not being in nature whatsoever. But just getting out there. And like I've said it before, is like I went through every emotion there is. Yeah. Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, I want to turn back, but I'm too far. Like, all the things. And so just doing that. And my goal, I had a goal in mind, was to see the bridge, the famous bridge there, New River Gorge Bridge. That's like super high, like higher than like most buildings. I have a shirt that shows all the landmarks and how high it is compared to them. So I have to go back and look at that shirt. But just getting to the view where I saw the bridge and just completing it in total, it was just like, wow, I did this. I did something that I thought I couldn't do and survived.
Awesome. What did that physical challenge and the view of the New River Gorge awaken in you mentally, spiritually, and even emotionally?
Well, definitely, I had to work some muscles, stretch, definitely was climbing and scrunching down and things like that. But all of that, getting to Charleston in and of itself, that was, it's in the middle of the pandemic, a nurse, always wanted to do travel nursing. So I was like, hey, this might be the best opportunity. And so just in doing that, just forcing myself out of my comfort zone and doing hard things, like I said, doing something that I didn't think I could do, and I did it. And that just like set me on a path, on a course that I can do whatever I set my mind to.
Awesome. That's very empowering. So you came back to Iowa. You didn't see a space for what you needed, so you build it. That's a no excuse mindset right there. Mm-hmm. What led you to create Black Iowa Outdoors, and why was it important that it was centered around the Black and brown communities for you?
Well, like you said, when I got back, I tried to, connect with a couple of groups, but it just didn't hit. And kind of some of the barriers were, was kind of a cost to it. Not that I couldn't do it, but I was like, well, this is something of benefit. I don't necessarily think that it's right to charge, but I get it, because there's things you got to pay for and experiences and things. So, but just trying to connect, couldn't connect. And so it was kind of a part of it was improving my health. Like back in West Virginia, like just that feeling, how I felt afterwards, exhilarating, and just felt a whole lot better in the days after. I felt like we as a Black people, we deserve that feeling. We don't get out. There's stigma that we don't do those things. But I will tell you, there are people that get out.
Yes.
Black people are in the outdoors. We outside. And so it was just a thing in me that we deserve to be out there just as much as anybody. And we deserve that feeling of peace, comfort, peace of mind, and just that stress reliever.
So like, hey, I'm gonna take the initiative. I'm gonna start it up. It's not there. I was one guy I had a conversation with one time. He was telling me, he said, if you see the problem and you're passionate about it, that means you're supposed to be the one that changes it. So like that's why you feel so passionate about it.
And that's funny that you say that, because like it took me a while to like formulate anything when I got back. Because like when I got back, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then I was like, okay. But then it just kept coming. And it's like, okay, I think I'm supposed to do this. So
you gotta do it. Kept on nudging you.
Yeah.
And visions do that to you.
Yeah.
How did you find your background in nursing and passion for mental health played into your vision for the organization?
Well, as a nurse, you see everything.
Yeah.
The physical
Everything.
and the mental, everything. And so knowing and seeing that your health and your mental effect, they are one and the same a lot of the times. That just kind of, I feel like, came naturally to, recognize the benefits of being in the outdoors, and then that mental aspect of it too. Just all of those things play a part into your health and your mental health. So
definitely, yeah. What was that first hike like? That first event? Like,
What did you
learn about the people?
It was a little nerve-wracking. The night before was like the major tornadoes.
Oh man.
Like weather was horrible, and I'm like, oh, like even the night before, like sirens going off, alarms, warnings and things, and I'm like, oh my God, people are probably not going to come out tomorrow.
Oh, man.
But luckily, we had a good amount of people that did still come out, and the next day, like it was like a sunny, beautiful day. Like you wouldn't have thought like the night before was like destruction. Yeah. And there were some places and people that suffered, but the next day you wouldn't have known it. And that was the thing. It was like, that's what life is. Yeah. Like no matter what is going on, no matter what destruction, there's another day to, go on.
An opportunity. Every day you have a chance and a choice. That kind of makes me think about, like, when I'm at the grocery store, sometimes I'll get up, go to the counter, and then it seems like the Red Sea's parted, and then it's like, oh, hey, I'm here. You're the first one in line. Like, wow. So it sounded like that kind of happened with that. Yeah. The storm was there. You're like, it's going to happen. It's like, oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
One thing I love about how you frame the outdoors, it's not just as exercise, but as a form of healing, mind, body, and soul. What has nature taught you about slowing down, showing up, and staying mentally well?
I can tell when I've gone too long. Side note, and I have to get back on it, I will admit, but I had started a 52 hike challenge where you hike every week for a month, or for a year, I'm sorry. And just doing that every week, like, things felt so much better. Like, could function, could do all the things that I need to do and still feel good. Not feeling tired, fatigued. Just being out in nature, it kind of forces you to slow down and appreciate and look around.
Just appreciate, look around, and just kind of take it all in.
Take it all in, and that just naturally just forces you to slow down.
Yeah. So it's like there's kind of a peacefulness to being out there in nature and the environment. Yeah. I mean, I participated on one of your walks, and it was like just a very peaceful time in the morning to get out and do it. So
it's kind of one of those things. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. You just got to get out there.
You got to experience it.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Yeah.
You're an ambassador for Make It Okay initiative. How do you use the outdoor movement to change the conversation around mental health?
We tried to incorporate basically making sure to express that it's okay to not be okay. And like, everybody has something that works for them, and maybe the outdoors is something that you could use to help you deal. I'm an advocate for getting the help that you need, whether that's talking, having medication, there's nothing wrong with that. But being in outdoors can be another tool. Yeah,
it definitely can be therapeutic. Yeah. What do you say to someone who thinks hiking or getting outside won't help them cope or heal? What do you say to somebody that say, hey, I'm not going to do that. Do it. Just get out there and do it.
Just get out there and be open. Just be open. Get out there and be open.
There's something special about walking with people who like you. I'm sorry. Yeah, walking with people that like you. That's why you got.
That's important.
That's why you got a significant other.
Right.
Hopefully they're walking with you.
Right.
There's something special about walking with people who look like you, sharing a space, and strength outdoors. What has surprised you most about the community that's formed through Black Iowa Outdoors?
People are very compassionate and caring. I think I remember one instance, we had gotten going on one, and I got to work on that, walkie-talkies.
Oh, yeah.
We thought we lost somebody, and so you had like a group of people like go back to like go find that person to make sure that they, met up and like didn't get lost. There's connections that have been made. People are just more, I guess, an opportunity to be more free and to be more open and to be themselves and to be comfortable and feel safe. I would say everybody knows my husband, but some may not. But he is like another big kid. And so it's been kind of nice to see. We had a couple that adopted a young Black girl.
Okay.
And they brought her, and they join us very frequently. And my husband and her have made a connection, and it's like just funny to see them. Not funny, but it's cool to see them like just walking around and holding hands because they've connected.
Yeah.
But it just that connection.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's why you do it, right?
Yes,
It's like,
absolutely.
You're seeing that vision become materialize.
And it's about community.
Yeah, community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it important for us to reclaim that space in nature, and how do you help folks feel like they belong on the trail?
So I'm actually reading this book, and I probably should have wrote it down of the name. But they're just like everything else. There are or have been systems in the outdoors to try to stifle us and keep us from being in outdoors when we have been. People don't realize we have been outdoors. We were out there. I'm not gonna. I need to do more research, but there's like definitely like outdoor figures, African American figures that have paved the way. But again, like everything else, there's been, different structure systems keeping us from the outdoors. So a lot of people think, it feeds into that idea that we don't do that, that we're not out there, but we are, and we do, and we deserve that as well.
Yeah.
So it's just, we talked about that representation. Like if you can see somebody out there doing it, that's going to inspire you like, oh, okay, I can do that too. And I think that is one of the parts for me as well, because I have followed personally like different groups in different states of Black people being outside, and just to see them out there, I can't explain like what that does for me.
Yeah, it feels like
it's like we are out here, we do this, like we are.
It's got that old school cookout feel. Like,
Yes.
That's awesome. What shifts have you seen physically, mentally, culturally among people who have joined the hikes regularly? Like, what have you?
I feel like, again, they're more open, more caring, more compassionate. And there are studies and research that with that being in outdoors, that does foster that sense of community as well. There was a study I read one time, like it actually being in outdoors makes you nicer.
Yeah. Have you like kind of seen that from like somebody like, hey, this person went on the first hike and they weren't really talking to anybody, and then later on they're like, oh, you're really outgoing.
Yep.
You won't shut up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely.
That's pretty
have
rewarding.
Seen that.
That's like that's one of the hidden rewards.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about having a no excuse mindset. You live it. You're leading hikes, working as a nurse, starting a movement. That's perseverance in action. What does having a no excuse mindset mean to you?
No excuse. And that's funny because my husband will have some words to say about that.
What will he have to say? Let me get him on next.
Oh, no, it's like our personal thing. Like we talked about us working out and things like that. And that's one of the things we got to get on and get better.
I'm here.
Right.
There ain't no excuse no more.
Right. We'll be talking later. But it's funny because he'll tell me like, in everything else, you go, but what about this working out? And it makes sense, but, you know, it's just everybody has that thing or things that, like, you know, you got to do it.
Yeah.
But it just...
You're like, I'm out here hiking. We hiking.
You should work out, too. Like, hiking is definitely, like, it works everything, health-wise, exercise-wise, all the things. But working out, you do need that.
So yesterday I had an interview with the guy from the New York Times, and he was telling me that what he likes to do is rock climb, and but he doesn't like doing none of the workout. He calls it vegetables, and so he was asking me like, "Hey, what can I do?" And it's like to get that treat of actually enjoying the rock climbing because you build up that strength and that muscle. So it really goes, like you say, it goes hand in hand. So.
It does, and again, like you have like your gym rats, you call them. Well, I have like my outdoor. I'm an outdoor rat, so like I'm always looking and seeing like how I can improve, like when I'm out on the hike, and so definitely working out is definitely a part of that. And I know I need to get on that, but that no excuse mindset, you know, it's important. I do believe it is a part of me, you know, ingrained in me somewhat for the things that I feel are important and I'm passionate about. And so no excuse mindset is, you know, you just do it. West Virginia, I just did it.
There's sometimes motion. You don't need motivation. You need motion.
Right.
Just get to moving. The motivation
exactly.
will come. You know, I look at, you know, my brother Tyrone, he was fully handicapped. And there's certain things that he can't do, period. And we got every ability, and so we don't have no excuse. That's the way I look at it. Was there ever a moment where you wanted to stop, and what pulled you back into the mission?
I don't think I've quite had that moment yet. I'm sure it comes, because with anything that comes, that's just natural. But I think what I draw from in other situations is my why. I'll always go back to my why. It's about representation. It's about, you know, the belief that Black people, allies, what have you, we deserve that space and to be out there. The outdoors is for everyone. And so, you know.
What legacy do you hope to leave through Black Iowa Outdoors, both in the community? What legacy do you hope to leave through Black Iowa Outdoors, both in the community and in people's personal lives?
That they freely go out and experience the outdoors, whether it be on their own, in the group, but just more of us, like you see more of us out there and doing. I consider that would be a legacy that I've inspired other people to get out there and do, and they actually do it.
Awesome. I can see it happening. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So shall it be.
Right.
Before we wrap, I want to leave the people with a sense of possibility. What's next for Black Iowa Outdoors? Any events or visions you're excited about?
Absolutely. So we do have an event. April 19th is our first kickoff event. We'll be easy on people. It'll be, I call it Lake Future. It probably has a different name, but the Ankeny campus.
Why do you call it Lake Future? Just curious.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
That's what they named it. I think it's just kind of one of those things encouraging people to get out there and experience the trail. And it is actually quite nice, and once all the flowers and things bloom.
Is that going to be one of the easier hikes for people to do?
Absolutely.
Like, hey?
And with our hikes, I do try to like kind of vary the intensity and things, but this will be one of the easier ones. But stay tuned. We're on Facebook, Instagram, somewhat TikTok.
Black Iowa Outdoors?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then tell me some of the other dates too. So you got the 19th. Put you on the spot.
Yes.
Go to social media.
It's there.
You take some initiative. You take some motion.
Definitely there. But the first one, the kickoff, is April 19th.
April 19th.
Yep.
If someone is listening and curious but nervous, what would you tell them about starting their own journey outdoors? Like, just give them.
I just go back to just being open and do it.
And finally, what's one trail moment or lesson that continues to ground you in your why?
Oh my goodness.
You can think about it.
That continues to ground me in my why.
Just continue to take it back. Okay, I know I need to do this. This is it.
I think for me, when I am out there on the trails and just finding the different trails and just the beauty in that trail, just finding the beauty wherever I'm at is, I guess, a part of my why. That this is out here to enjoy.
Yes.
And I am free to do that.
Definitely, you're free to do it. I had a lady one time. She said, I worked sun up, sun down. She said, boom. She said, oh, you're a good trainer, but do you ever stop and smell the roses? Mm. I'm like, yeah, I see that. He's like, but do you ever stop and smell them though? Do you stop and just take it in? So that's kind of feel I get from you too. It's like just stop, take it in, and it's just it can be life changing. Yeah, because it's so therapeutic and. There's something about you, like you say, something about being outdoors, getting that fresh air in your lungs, getting that blood circulating, socializing. Yes. There's so many aspects of wellness that your group covers, and I'm really proud of you. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Today is a special day. It's my brother Tyrone's birthday, and I just want to take a moment to honor his life and the powerful impact he made. Without ever saying a word, Tyrone was fully handicapped, blind, deaf, and unable to walk. At just 4 years old, a brain tumor and the surgery that followed left him completely dependent on others for the rest of his life. But the truth is, he birthed something in me, a mindset, a fire, a mission, what I call the no excuse mindset. Tyrone couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't hear, but he could inspire. And if someone in his condition could bring that kind of light into the world, how can we, with full abilities, dare to make excuses? We don't all have the same situation, but we all have the same choice. We can let our circumstances define us, or we can decide to rise. I want to challenge you today. Be a soldier of Tyrone. Take up the mindset. Stop giving up. Quit quitting. Show up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. This is a call to action, a challenge, a commitment. I'm asking you to take the no excuse pledge. Not for me, not even for you, but for your family, for your kids, for generations that will come after you. Get the wristband. Make it visible. Let it be a reminder that you're done making excuses about your health. Why? Because generational health matters. Too many of our elders didn't make it, not because they didn't love us, but because they didn't have the tools, the access, the support, the understanding. And now we're missing their wisdom and their laughter, and we're missing out on their legacy. You can break the cycle. Let's be real. In melanated communities, we see higher rates of chronic diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, obesity, kidney failure, strokes, and the list goes on. These conditions are killing us younger and younger, robbing us of our joy and silencing our future. It doesn't have to be this way, but we have to take ownership. We have to get educated and get moving. We got to get honest and disciplined. You have the power to be the first in your family to reverse the trend. And when you do, you open up the doors for others to follow. So today, in honor of my brother Tyrone, I'm asking you to make a decision. Draw a line in the sand. Pledge to stop making excuses, wear the wristband, join the movement. Let's build a community that's healthy, healed, and hopeful. Remember, you don't need perfect conditions. You just need a made-up mind, a no-excuse mindset. Be a soldier. Be consistent. Be committed. And when life gets tough, think of those who can't walk and choose to run. For them, for you, for us. Let's get it right. No excuse mindset. Let's do it together.